Thank you for watching this episode. Remember to like and subscribe for more videos like this. The Accidental Billion-Dollar Board, the Pinterest story. In 2009, while Facebook was conquering social media and Twitter was revolutionizing real-time communication, two ex-Google employees were building a shopping app that nobody wanted. Their product was failing so spectacularly that investors wouldn't return their calls, users weren't downloading it, and their own friends called it boring. But then they noticed something strange. The few users they had weren't using the app to buy things. They were collecting, hoarding, curating, like digital magpies building beautiful nests of things they'd never purchase. This accidental discovery would create a $15 billion company that fundamentally changed how 450 million people discover everything from recipes to wedding dresses. A platform so powerful, it drives more sales than Twitter, LinkedIn, and Reddit combined. A visual search engine that knows what you want before you do. This is the story of Pinterest, how a failed shopping app became Silicon Valley's quietest success story, and why ignoring everything Silicon Valley preaches about growth might be the smartest strategy of all. The doctor who couldn't heal. Ben Silberman was supposed to be a doctor. Growing up in Des Moines, Iowa, son of two ophthalmologists, his path was prescribed: pre-med at Yale, then medical school, then a comfortable practice in the Midwest. But sitting in organic chemistry, Ben felt something his parents never did: dread. While his classmates dreamed of stethoscopes, Ben dreamed of Silicon Valley. He'd read about Google's culture, their 20% time, their mission to organize the world's information. In 2003, against every voice of reason, Ben abandoned medicine for consulting at Capital One in DC. His parents were horrified. Asian parents don't raise consultants, they raise doctors. But Ben had caught the tech bug. He taught himself to code at night, built small projects, applied to Google repeatedly. After 3 rejections, he finally got in as a customer support associate, the lowest rung possible. At Google, Ben learned 3 things. Small teams could impact billions. Product design mattered more than features. He was terrible at playing politics. While colleagues climbed ladders, Ben collected things: interesting products, design patterns, user behaviors. His desk became a museum of screenshots, printouts, and sketches. Co-workers called him the collector, the shopping app nobody shopped on. In 2008, Ben left Google with his college friend Paul Sciarra. They had an idea: shopping on phones sucked. What if they built a beautiful catalog app where you could browse products like a magazine? They called it Tote, like a shopping tote. The vision: aggregate products from across the web, beautiful, magazine-style layout, save items you liked, get alerts when prices dropped. They raised $30,000 from friends and family. Ben's girlfriend, now wife Divya, gave them her entire savings. They worked from Ben's apartment in Palo Alto, coding until 4 a.m., living on ramen and dreams. The launch disaster App Store approval took 4 months. Launch 2, silence, 17 downloads on day 1, most were friends and family. Ben spent days at coffee shops begging strangers to download Tote. He'd offer to buy their coffee, help with their phones, anything. Most people deleted it immediately. The brutal numbers: month 1, 900 users, month 2, 1,200 users, daily active users, under 200, revenue, $0. Investors weren't interested. E-commerce on mobile: nobody trusts their credit card on phones. This was 2009. The iPhone was 2 years old. Mobile commerce seemed insane. The pivot that changed everything. Desperate for insights, Ben and Paul studied their few users obsessively. That's when they noticed something weird. Users weren't buying anything. They were collecting. The user behavior: save 50, 100 items, never purchase, return daily to look at collections, organize items into categories, share collections with friends via email. One user had saved 200 wedding dresses. She wasn't engaged. Another had 500 recipes. She admitted she rarely cooked. A third collected mid-century modern furniture. He lived in a studio apartment. Paul suggested adding a buy button. Ben said no. What if collecting was the product? The epiphany. People didn't want to shop. They wanted to dream, to plan, to create visual representations of their aspirations. The internet had infinite information, but no way to organize visual inspiration. They decided to pivot, kill tote, build something new. Pinterest is born. The name came from merging pin and interest. Ben's girlfriend Divya suggested it. Simple, descriptive, available as a domain. The core concept: virtual pin boards, pin images from anywhere on the web, organize boards by theme, follow other people's boards, no friend requests, no status updates. This wasn't social networking, it was social discovery. They brought on Evan Sharp, a Columbia architecture student Ben met at a design meetup. Evan had been Pinterest's most active early user, creating boards of buildings, interiors, and design inspiration. The design philosophy: images first, text second, infinite scroll, revolutionary in 2010. No comments, reduce negativity. Boards are public by default, beauty over functionality. They launched in March 2010, closed beta, invitation only, and then nothing happened. Again, the struggle years. For 9 months, Pinterest flatlined. The team worked from Ben's apartment, then a small office above a Thai restaurant. The smell of pad Thai became synonymous with failure. The numbers were brutal. March 2010, 3,000 users. June 2010, 5,000 users. September 2010, 10,000 users. Growth rate essentially zero. Silicon Valley runs on momentum. Pinterest had none. The rejection collection: Sequoia Capital, not interested. Kleiner Perkins. No clear business model. Axel Partners, too niche. Bessemer, didn't return calls. One VC told Ben, "I don't get it. It's like a bulletin board for lonely housewives." Ben's response became Pinterest's accidental strategy: "That's fine, you're not our user." The survival tactics. Ben moved back with parents to save money. Paul coded freelance projects at night. Evan continued architecture school. Total funding, still under $50,000. Salary, $0. The Midwest miracle. Then Ben did something that violated every Silicon Valley rule. He went home to Des Moines, not to quit, to recruit. The insight: Silicon Valley was obsessed with Twitter, Foursquare, and gaming. But Ben's sister's mum and cousins in Iowa. They loved collecting recipes, planning weddings, organizing craft ideas. They didn't care about checking in or status updates. The Iowa strategy. Ben personally recruited bloggers from Des Moines, focused on mommy bloggers, craft bloggers, food bloggers, gave them early access and personal support, asked what features they wanted. One blogger, Victoria Smith, joined with 50 followers. She started pinning her DIY projects. Her audience followed. They invited friends. Those friends invited friends. The demographic flip. While every other startup chased 22-year-old male engineers, Pinterest cultivated 35-year-old women in suburban Kansas. The VCs thought they were insane, but these users were different. They actually used the product daily. They created original content. They invited real friends, not tech early adopters. They organized their real lives, not their digital personas. The hockey stick moment. January 2012. Pinterest hit an inflection point. Daily signups jumped from 2,000 to 20,000. Nobody knew why. The perfect storm. Mobile usage exploded. The iPad made visual browsing magical. Facebook fatigue. Users wanted inspiration, not argumentation. The wedding factor. Every bride became a Pinterest evangelist. SEO gold. Pinterest boards ranked incredibly well on Google. The metrics explosion. January 2012. 10 million users. March 2012. 17 million users. August 2012. 25 million users. Faster to 10 million than Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. The press discovers. Pinterest. Time. The best 50 websites of 2011. TechCrunch. Pinterest is 2012's hottest startup. Forbes. The $1 billion valuation no one saw coming. Suddenly, everyone wanted in. The same VCs who rejected them were begging for meetings. Ben made them fly to Des Moines. The business model mystery. Pinterest had 100 million users but zero revenue. Unlike Facebook or Google, they had no advertising. Unlike Amazon, they had no commerce. They were a referral engine that didn't charge for referrals. The investor panic. How will you make money? Ben's answer, we'll figure it out when we need to. This drove VCs crazy. But Ben studied history. Google existed for 3 years before AdWords. Facebook had 50 million users before advertising. Amazon lost money for 7 years. The hidden value, Pinterest drove more e-commerce than any social platform. Average order value, $180 versus Facebook's $80. Users came to Pinterest planning to buy. 93% of users planned purchases on Pinterest. Retailers saw 67% higher conversion rates. The first business model, 2013, promoted pins, native advertising that looked like regular pins, rich pins, enhanced pins with real-time pricing, no banner ads, no pop-ups, no pre-roll videos. Revenue year 1, $25 million. Revenue year 2, $100 million. Revenue year 3, $300 million. The model worked because ads improved the experience rather than interrupted it. The culture of knitting. Pinterest's culture was the anti-Silicon Valley. The office, no ping-pong tables or beer kegs, knitting circles during lunch, craft supplies in conference rooms, dogs everywhere, 5 p.m. home for family dinner encouraged. The hiring philosophy, hired from Midwest and South, not just Bay Area, 45% female employees versus 20% industry average. Rejected brilliant jerks, values, put pinners first over move fast. The Ben rules, no all-hands meetings after 5 p.m. Managers must take vacation, internal emails banned on weekends, parental leave, 4 months minimum, knit the culture. Slow, steady, intentional. The anti-growth growth. While Facebook preached growth at all costs, Pinterest grew deliberately, refused to spam users with notifications, no re-engage emails, no artificial viral mechanics, let users control their experience. Silicon Valley mocked them as too nice to succeed. The numbers disagreed. The challenges and controversies. Pinterest wasn't without problems. The copyright catastrophe, users pinning copyrighted images, photographers threatening lawsuits. Pinterest is killing creative professionals. Solution: no pin code, better attribution, creator funds. The diversity struggle, 2015, only 1% black employees, engineering, 79% male, leadership, 85% white, invested $1.2 million in diversity programs. By 2020, 8% black employees, 42% female. The Instagram threat. Instagram launched collections, copying boards. Google launched Google+. Amazon launched Amazon Spark. All failed. Why? They copied features, not philosophy. The IPO rollercoaster, 2019. IPO at $19 per share. Day 1, jumped 25%. Month 1, dropped below IPO price. Wall Street. Where's the growth? Pinterest today, the quiet giant. In 2024, Pinterest is the platform nobody talks about but everyone uses. The numbers: 465 million monthly active users, $3.1 billion annual revenue, profitable since 2021, 5 billion searches monthly, 300 billion pins saved. The evolution: visual search using AI, take photo, find similar, shopping directly on Pinterest, creator monetization tools, idea pins, their TikTok competitor, international expansion, 80% of new users outside US. The market position: #1 for purchase intent, #1 for positive user sentiment, #3 social platform for sales. 45% of US women use Pinterest, Gen Z fastest growing demographic. The competitive advantage: Pinterest isn't social media, it's a personal media. Users don't perform for others, they curate for themselves. In an age of outrage and oversharing, Pinterest offers something radical: privacy, positivity, and purpose. Lessons from the Pinboard. For entrepreneurs and business enthusiasts, Pinterest's story teaches unconventional wisdom. 1. Your users know better than you. Tote failed because they built what they thought users wanted. Pinterest succeeded because they built what users were already doing. Watch behavior, not surveys. 2. Geography is destiny. Silicon Valley builds for Silicon Valley. Pinterest succeeded by building for Des Moines. Your best users might be where VCs never visit. 3. Slow growth can be sustainable growth. Pinterest took 2 years to hit 10,000 users. They're now worth $15 billion. Venture capital worships hockey sticks, but steady slopes reach higher peaks. 4. Culture is your moat. Facebook can copy your features. They can't copy your values. Pinterest's kindness, intentionality, and user-first approach created loyalty that algorithms can't replicate. 5. Ignore your category. Pinterest succeeded by not being social media. They ignored engagement metrics, viral mechanics, and addiction patterns. Sometimes the best strategy is to zig when everyone zags. The ultimate lesson: Ben Silbermann failed at medicine, failed at Google Politics, and failed with Tote. But he succeeded at noticing. He saw users creating wish lists and built wish fulfillment infrastructure. Today, Pinterest influences billions in purchases, from dream weddings to kitchen renovations. It's where aspiration meets action, where browsing becomes building, where collecting becomes creating. Not bad for a shopping app that nobody wanted to shop on. The final irony? Ben's parents, the ophthalmologists who wanted him to be a doctor, now use Pinterest to plan their retirement travels. They pin destinations, restaurants, and hotels. Sometimes the best way to heal people isn't with medicine. Sometimes it's by giving them a place to dream. And in a world of infinite scrolling and finite attention, Pinterest proved that the most radical act isn't moving fast and breaking things. It's moving thoughtfully and building boards. Thank you for watching this episode. If you enjoyed the story, remember to like the video and subscribe for more inspiring journeys and business insights. We appreciate your support and can't wait to see you in the next one.